Hi, this is Joe Masterson with Yarg Nation, and I'm here with Bruce from Trouble, and he's been nice enough to offer up an interview for us here for Yarg Nation, so I'm going to get right down to it. All right, so some of these questions are from listeners, and some are from Yarg Nation brass.
Okay.
So one here is, it's been almost 4 years since the last album. This is funny. This is how it was posed to me. It's been almost 4 years since the last album, The Distortion Field, which is awesome. Are there any current plans for new music?
Yes, we are actually, as we speak, working on demoing songs for the new record. I mean, we're not actually recording the record yet. We're working everything out right now, but yeah, we're in the midst of that right now. So realistically, we're looking at a 2018 release of a new record.
Very good. All right. So next question is, what's the plan going forward for gigs? Will our listeners have a chance to see Trouble in 2017?
Only locally, probably. We're looking at doing a few shows at the end of the summer in like Chicago and maybe somewhere else in the Midwest. But we're not doing any tours probably until the new record comes out.
Get the new material and go with that, yeah. All right, so we love the Distortion Field. What's your favorite song to play off the album and why?
Okay, so of the ones that we have played, I would say my favorite song to play live is Paranoia Conspiracy. I just like the groove of it. I think the singing's awesome. One of my favorite guitar solos on the record.
Of course. All right, so what inspired you to pick up the guitar? Who are your biggest influences, both as a guitarist and a songwriter?
Okay, so inspiring me to pick up the guitar, my parents got me when I was about 5 years old a toy drum set, and I created so much racket. They said, "I'll tell you what, you're gonna switch to guitar."
So we can sleep at night. Yeah.
Little did they know, like 10 years later, I'd be an amp with an amp blasting as loud as the drums ever were. But and then for the influences, I mean, I guess there's a bunch, but like early on, Ritchie Blackmore from Deep Purple was like my favorite guitar player.
Yeah.
And then of course, Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath, just the sound and the whole, I mean, Black Sabbath had a huge influence on me when I heard them. Love Jimmy Page, the classic Zeppelin stuff. I mean, you got to remember, so like I grew up in the 70s, so I'm not naming a bunch of metal players because we got together in 79, and Judas Priest had somewhat of an influence on us, but otherwise it was like the classic heavy rock players of the 70s that really influenced me.
Heavy metal was still grassroots then,
Yeah.
So, all right, tell us about your favorite gig.
I have to think a minute.
Is that many?
Well, yeah.
I mean, good ones.
Probably close to 1,000 gigs in our life.
Wow.
The high hundreds for sure. Let me think a minute. I mean, I got one in mind. I don't know if it's a favorite, but it's definitely one of them.
Yeah, it's classic.
Yeah, well, let me say this. This was the biggest gig we've ever played.
Okay.
It was a festival in Holland called Dynamo Festival, and they used to have it every year for like 15 years, but it hasn't happened in a while now. But this would have been like the mid-'90s, and we played, I want to say we played right before the headliner. Anyway, there was 125,000 people at the festival. There was probably about 70,000 watching us when we were playing. And that's a pretty awesome experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's bigger than Soldier Field right now.
Yeah, you look out and it's a sea of people as far as you can see. Yeah. So, I mean, that would have to be up there.
Yeah. That's a classic. All right, so your music is very serious. Surely you guys have moments of humor. Who's the funniest guy in the band?
Without a doubt, our current singer, Kyle Thomas, who was on the Distortion Field, without a doubt, he's the funniest.
Yeah. Is he
he
prankster?
keeps us. not as much a prankster as just he just keeps us laughing.
Quick wit.
Like quick wit, funny voices.
Yeah.
Just says funny stuff. He keeps me laughing the whole time when we're on tour.
You got to be able to do that, right? You got to looking forward to going to work. All right. What would trouble bands be surprised to find out that you're a fan of?
Surprised to find out that I'm a fan of.
Here, I said that wrong. What band would trouble fans be surprised to find out that you're a fan of?
I'm trying to think. Trying to think of a good one. Like trying to go over my record collection.
Yeah.
Be surprised. Not that I listen to it much anymore, but I did have a phase where I really liked Blondie. It was a lot of years ago.
Yeah, I get it.
There's probably something else I just like. It's not. Nothing else is coming to me. Oh well. Maybe they wouldn't be surprised, but one of my favorite artists of all time is Leon Russell.
Leon Russell, all right.
Which piano, gospel, blues, rock, not even really. I mean, there's guitar, but it's not like guitar based really. But he's one of my all-time favorites. It's still to this day. Well, I mean, he passed away last year, but I listen to him. Like the thing with Blondie, I don't listen to Blondie anymore, not for many years really. But I did have
there was at a point.
There was a time.
Yeah.
But Leon Russell, I still listen to this, all the time.
Gotcha. That's all right, because I think Dave at one point had a Air Supply album. Just kidding. I feel too. All right, so from Ove in Sweden, do you plan to come back to Scandinavia? You have lots of fans here.
Yeah, we'd love to. I got a feeling once the new record's out, we're going to do a pretty extensive European tour, and Sweden is a great place for us. So I would have to think that would be part of it.
Can you give us like 5 minutes?
Sure.
Thanks. So what were we saying? You guys got a lot of. It's amazing how the more I get to learn about this industry, I learn that there's a lot of metal lovers in Scandinavia, Norway, Sweden, even in Germany, of course.
All of Europe, it's a bigger, more popular genre than it is in the United States anymore. I mean, especially the more classic styles of metal is really popular in Europe. And so, I mean, we tour way more in Europe than we do in the States at this point of our career.
Oh, yeah, really?
I mean, it wasn't that way in our original time, but and I mean, it's just more popularity over there. I mean, and more money. And so
it's a good thing.
So to answer this question, I would bet heavily that we'll be hitting Sweden in 2018.
Oh, cool! That soon. All right. Any unreleased material? If so, any chance of that coming out soon?
Not really. I mean, there's always a few things laying around, but we released an unplugged record, and first we did it like through our website only, and it was only like these acoustic versions of some of our songs. But then we did a release of it actually through a label, and we included a bunch of unreleased songs, and there had to have been at least 5 or 6 unreleased things that we put on that. And that was like the bulk of things we had. We have a few things, but I'm not sure if they'll see the light of day or not. Maybe. Okay. We have a recording of. We did a cover of Thin Lizzy's Jailbreak when we were recording the Manic Frustration album, which was like '92, all the way that long ago, and there was never any vocals done to it, but we did all the music. So we were thinking of maybe having Kyle sing on that and having that as an extra track, maybe.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, and finish it up with tell us about the genesis of Trouble. How did you guys come together?
Yeah. Okay. Well, original singer Eric Wagner and I were in a band together. it wasn't a good band. We weren't happy with the band, so we were like looking in the local Chicago music paper, which is called the Illinois Entertainer, and they would have ads in the back, and they still do to this day, actually. They would have ads for groups looking for musicians and musicians looking for groups.
Ah, very cool.
And we found an ad that said, band looking for singer and guitarist to play heavy rock / metal, UFO, Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, and we thought that's exactly what we want to do. And this is 1979.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a ton of people playing heavy music at that time. Like the new wave thing was starting to hit.
Yeah,
and
80s music.
yeah. And there wasn't a ton of people playing heavy music, so we went, got an audition for it, and it just so happened to work out. And that was Rick Wortell, the other guitarist, who's still in the band to this day with me.
Gotcha.
It was he that placed the ad, and we went and tried out, and things worked out.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it was just a cover band then, but like within a year or so, we started working on originals and became the trouble that people would come to know.
Yeah. What, out of all of your hundreds and hundreds of gigs, most of them in Chicagoland area, or?
No, I wouldn't say most. A lot.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we toured pretty heavily in the 90s, like in the early 90s. We did, like, 1990 we were on tour for 9 months straight. And 92 we were out for 4.5 months. And, you know, I mean, we've done other tours, you know, like North America tours, European tours. We've done, so I would say, you know, maybe local gigs would maybe make up for maybe 40% of gigs we've done.
Yeah.
Maybe less.
Yeah. Well, very cool. Very cool to meet you. I guess I'll end this with